Hinduism is an ancient religion. It started as a fusion of various Indian cultures and traditions. It is believed to be the heritage of Brahmanic religion dated back to 30,000 BC, with the classical Hinduism first emerging in 200 BC. The concept of God in Hinduism is complex. It depends on each individual's philosophy and the tradition itself. This reflects to its rituals as well. For example, Hindus in India practice different rituals compared to Hindus in Bali, Indonesia. In general, they worship the Supreme Being as Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, and/or Shakti. They embody from proper aims of human life: Dharma, duties; Artha, prosperity; Karma, emotion; and Moksha, liberation. Number 2. Islam, 1.5 billion adherents. In 610 CE, Muhammad had revelation from God through Archangel Gabriel. These revelations were recorded into a book known as Quran. The concept of God in Islam is strict and clear. God is one and He is almighty. He created the universe by a simple command: be, and so it is. They believe that there is only one religion, Islam, and Muhammad is its prophet. Number 1. Christianity, 2.1 billion adherents. Christians believe that in 4 BC, the Son of God was born. He is Jesus Christ, who brought salvation from humanity. The story of his life was written in a Bible, which becomes the guidance of Christians' life. Christianity teaches the essential belief of Trinity. God is one God in 3 persons coexisting as one. They cannot be divided.
Statue of a lady sitting upon the waters. One of the most famous of America's national symbols, what is called the Statue of Liberty, standing in New York Harbor, significantly on a star-shaped base with 11 points on the star, symbolic of the 10 kings that will give their power and authority to the 11th king in Revelation 17 verse 12, and also symbolic of Zechariah chapter 5 verse 11, which says that Babylonian woman called wickedness would be removed to another land and set upon her own base. This colossal statue is actually another image of the goddess Ishtar, Ashtoreth, the Libertas, with her 7-horned crown, a symbol of the 7 seas upon which she sits as queen, a clear depiction of the goddess of that great whore that sitteth upon many waters, of Revelation 17.
Was Nimrod. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, which means confusion. The name Nimrod means rebellion. Nimrod was a rebel against God, and as the leader of the kingdom of Babel, Nimrod was also connected with the building of the Tower of Babel. And they said, "Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven." We're building a tower in rebellion against him. He wanted to put an end to it and said, "Go to, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth. Tradition says that Nimrod's wife was also his mother and granddaughter of Noah. According to various legends, Semiramis became pregnant after engaging in an adulterous affair while married to Nimrod. Around this time, Nimrod dies a violent and untimely death. In an effort to retain power and to hide her misdeeds, Semiramis makes the most audacious claim. She publicly declares that upon Nimrod's death, he had been resurrected as the god of the sun. As the sun god, Nimrod used his sun rays to miraculously inseminate Semiramis with a child. This child was thus considered to be divinely conceived. The child's name was Tammuz, which she claimed was the reincarnation of Nimrod. Thus, Semiramis was both Nimrod's wife and mother. After the scattering that occurs at the Tower of Babel, the story of the miraculous conception of this child disseminated throughout the world and led to the rise of sun worship, along with the various birth, death, and rebirth cults that are littered through history. These mystery religions of future generations adopted different names for Nimrod, Semiramis, and their child Tammuz.
And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb.
In AD 306, Constantine became the new Roman emperor by fighting a series of civil wars, and he believed that it was the Christian God that helped him conquer. As history explains, Constantine received a vision from God, and that an angel had told him that in the sign of the cross he must conquer. Now, we don't know if his conversion was genuine, but Constantine became a supposed believer of the Christian God. During Constantine's reign, Christians went from being a persecuted sect to openly holding positions of influence in the courts and palaces of kings and governors. So if you wanted to advance in the army or imperial civil service, holding a position of power, becoming a Christian will take you on the right path to do so, because all the people at the top are now Christians. Constantine had made Christianity the religion of the state. And so by that time, Christianity had begun intermingling with the state of Rome. And so as people in the Roman Empire converted to Christianity, they brought along with them their former pagan beliefs and practices, and Christianity became intermingled with Roman paganism. There were even pagan statues renamed after biblical characters. The statue of Jupiter was renamed Peter. The statue of Hermes is shown as Christ the Good Shepherd. The statue of the Madonna and Child was retitled the Virgin Mary and Baby Jesus. Christianity had even adopted the pagan worship of the sun on the day of the sun, or Sunday, instead of the Bible Sabbath. Christianity began to fornicate with Roman paganism.
Okay, so what path or religion are you in your pursuit of perfection with God? What are you?
I was raised Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Seventh-day Adventist is a Christian denomination, and one of the things that we believe is observing the Sabbath. So from a young child, being brought up, I was always brought up with Sabbath observance. So Friday night sundown, Saturday night sundown, as mentioned in the Ten Commandments, remember the seventh day to keep it holy. And then also Jesus observed Sabbath as well.
Yeah.
So it's one day where I don't check my emails, I don't respond to work calls, I don't read
From
any script.
Friday night
sundown to Saturday night sundown.
Yeah.
No work.
You don't check your emails.
No.
That's
there's a function.
that's like against the commandment of Hollywood that thou shalt carry thy BlackBerry at all times.
But you know what? Here's a good thing. When you set boundaries.
Yeah.
Up front.
Up front.
Here's what my commitment is. So we all agree.
Love this,
before we even take the job or go down the road.
Yeah.
Here's a commitment.
Yeah.
Are we all agreeing this is okay? So then all I have to do is just make sure I keep the commitment.
Yeah.
Because the moment I break it is the moment they realize, oh, well, he wasn't that serious. But for me, Sabbath is a time to recharge. It's a time to rest. It's a time to spend time with my family. It's a time to spiritually reconnect.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
What is interesting is that you allow your faith, your belief in God, to be at the forefront of who you are in a place where most of us, and you even say in the book, I remember when I said to my father, I was like 13, 14, Dad, I'm going to be an actress. No daughter of mine is going to be going out to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh, boy.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
You know the line.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, right. So you're living in what a lot of certainly traditional Christian people see Hollywood as the land of everything but following the path of your faith. How do you make it out there?
Well, you make it by being true to yourself. And
like literally for your first job. I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's okay.
For your first job, working as an intern with Will Smith, you say to them, look, I have to have the Sabbath off, which, may I just confess that I learned in my first meeting with Devon, all these years I thought the Sabbath was Sunday. I've been going to church. We say worship on the Sabbath in the Baptist church. And you corrected me. You said, no, Sunday is the first day of the week. Sabbath is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown.
That's right.
I stand corrected.